be ashamed of. If it's politically correct for our president in the United States to dabble with Islam, they serve Allah, which is the same, entity that was served when 19 people flew planes and killed 3,000 people, right? I mean, when was the last time somebody flew a plane into a building in the name of witchcraft? Right? When was the last time somebody flew a plane into a building in the name of witchcraft? I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say that witchcraft, the people who follow that, are not our biggest enemy today. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
I remember a lot of porn stars that I interviewed were into witchcraft. But they weren't harming anyone. They were just doing their jobs and studying books on Wiccan.
Yeah, what's the big deal? So I don't understand how they're using that, or what I don't get it. I don't get how they can go, oh, she's into witchcraft. I'm like, you know what? Thank God she's not into Islam.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. You just stood up for Islam in all these different ways against all these different people, and now you're condemning her. How dare you, you hypocrite? Okay, that's one hypocrisy. I see. You want another one?
Yeah.
I'll give you this other one I saw. I don't get this one either. There's a ballot here in California to legalize pot.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. Mm-hmm. I'm a libertarian. Legalize all drugs. I'm fine with that. But what I don't get is this. In this state of California, where all the smoking Nazis are, they're moving towards legalizing cigarettes.
Right.
So somebody please explain to me why cigarettes bad, marijuana good. Cigarettes kill secondhand, marijuana good. Never mind the secondhand business, right? Let's sell it, at the supermarket, and let's tax it and all this stuff. I don't get it. Can someone explain that? Am I wrong for not?
That's a good point.
I don't get it. Right? And again, I'm a libertarian. I am going to vote for legalization of marijuana, but I would also vote for legalization across the line of smoking. If you can smoke marijuana, you should be able to smoke cigarettes. What's the difference? Right? And in fact, cigarettes, I think there's less of an issue because they don't,
They don't mess with your mind.
They don't mess with your mind, so they're less on the level of alcohol. But I see that they are making a difference because the pot cigarettes are going to be from 21 and over, so they're going to be tantamount to alcohol, right? Which I'm not saying I'm in favor of drinking age. I'm just saying their logic. Whereas cigarettes are 18 and over. So they're not at 18. I personally think the drinking age should be lower. I think it's ridiculous that we trust an individual to get married and raise a kid, a child, bring a child into this world. That's okay, but God forbid the same person should have a drink of alcohol. What's a bigger danger? This guy drinking, right? Or this person bringing in a kid that they're not ready for, and this child's going to suffer their entire life with some person who should have never been a parent. What's the bigger thing? Yeah, we let people get married and everything, whatever, 18, some places, some states it's 16, I think some it's lower than that. Right? So if we do that, why can't they drink at that age? We send them off into the army at 18 because you can't drink? What the hell is that? What's the hell is that? Guy goes off and he serves in Iraq for a year. He's 19 years old. He's served in Iraq. Comes back, goes to the officers' club, whatever. He can't have a drink. I mean, what the hell's that? That's ridiculous, isn't that? That's ridiculous. So drinking age, I think, should be lower. I don't even know if
you can be old enough to die for your country.
If you're old enough to die for your country, if you're old enough to get married and have kids, then you're old enough to drink, right? And then you should be old enough to smoke pot, because I don't see any difference between pot and drink. In fact, I think pot is safer than drinking. Having been addicted to both, I can tell you drinking is much worse than pot. It's much more addictive. It's much more. It's a stronger effect. It's much worse.
Yeah, not many wives get beaten up by their husbands because they're high on pot.
No, but the husbands may get beaten up because they're too stoned to fight her off, you know. But okay, so that's my thing on pot. But at the same token, who the hell wants to legalize cigarettes? You know, in this state, the cigarette Nazis want to illegalize smoking. So I just don't get it. I just don't get it. If this state ends up with that, you know, with legal pot but no legal cigarettes, I give my hands up. It's beyond comprehensible at that point. All right, go ahead.
I have a question from last week's Torah portion.
Yes.
When men began to increase on earth and daughters were born to them, the divine beings saw how beautiful the daughters of men were and took wives from among those that pleased them. Can you explain that?
Well, it depends what pasuk we're on.
Chapter 6, verses 1 and 2. So it says that, like, the divine beings saw how beautiful the human females were and took them.
I wish you wouldn't ambush me like this. Like, let me have a chance to look them up before.
Well, this is like a famous pasuk.
I know, but you
have it, like,
oh yeah, I'm just
you'd have
walking
it on
encyclopedia.
recall, I mean,
No, yeah. Mm-hmm.
18 hours a day Torah study.
Okay, 6, 1, and 2 is what you said.
Yeah.
Alright, so Rashi says, he didn't really talk about it.
Don't worry about it. I was just wondering if you had something to say, but I guess not.
Oh, wait. Here it is on Rashi. Hang on.
Talking about celestial terrestrial intermarriage. At the beginning of history, humans strove to rise to the level of divine beings, and God intervened. Humanity cannot be immortal. Here, divine beings lower themselves to the level of humans, and God intervenes. Severe limitation on human longevity results. These few verses are surely the strangest of all the Genesis narratives, so full of difficulties.
Oh, are you reading that off your courses again? Why do I have to listen to this?
The perplexities arise from the theme of the story, from its apparent intrusiveness within the larger narrative, from its extreme terseness, and from some of its vocabulary and syntax. Legends about intercourse between gods and mortal women, between goddesses and men, resulting in a generation of demigods, are widespread and familiar ingredients of pagan mythology.
Okay, so what's your question exactly over here?
What's going on? What, like divine beings taking human women as wives?
No, Rashi, is that your question? Rashi and the Ramban agrees with him. Rashi says over here, they're not B'nai, when it says B'nai Elohim, when you're talking, it doesn't mean that they're gods. It says that they're the B'nai Hasarim v'Hashoitim. These were the sons of the rulers and the officers. They were the, I guess that's how you say it.
Okay.
Princes.
So do you believe there was a flood?
Absolutely.
Like, do you believe it covered the whole world?
Absolutely.
Like even Mount Everest?
Which is 30,000 feet? Yeah. Yeah, sure, why not?
And you believe Noah made an actual ark?
Absolutely. He made a boat.
Made a boat?
Yeah.
And he like sailed around on top of the world for a while?
Yeah. Why not? He had a yacht. He built a boat. He built a boat in his backyard. He gathered up everybody on his boat and they went for a ride. But why is that so hard to believe?
Why is that hard to believe? Because
you think it was a burning bush? You think God spoke at Mount Sinai?
Yeah.
Then why is this hard to believe?
Because this is just harder to believe.
Why is this hard to believe?
We have no evidence of a flood covering the whole earth.
Do you have any evidence of a burning bush?
No. But you wouldn't expect evidence of a burning bush. It was just a bush that was burning in the desert. Like it could have been like, I think it was like the sun glinting off the leaves that made it appear that it was burning.
You're an apologist for Torah. It goes with your everything. It goes with, you're reading this kafira, this heresy, this heretical book, which you should burn. It's a
Jewish Publication Society. It's a library book. I can't burn it. It doesn't belong to me.
It's a heretical book. You should toss it, right? It's not authoritative. you have doubts, and you got to apologize to make it sense because your real God is the God of